Hi everybody, welcome to another Change Your Thoughts Today show. I didn't think we were just going to go live there. Keep getting an error message today, but I'm just going to ignore it like the last one. Just done a show and we're getting error messages all the time. So welcome to another Change Your Thoughts Today show. My name's Stephen Aitchison, creator of PositiveLifeAffirmations.net, a program to help you change your beliefs to change your life. So welcome everybody to the show today. As I said, I thought I'd do something a wee bit different just to take your mind off everything that's going on, particularly if you're from America and you're just kind of voting just now. So I want to share with you 7 kind of psychology hacks, but I want to try something first. I want you to think of a lucky dwarf. Think of a lucky dwarf in your mind just now. And that's all I'm going to say on the subject. Think of a lucky dwarf just now, and I'll come back to that in a second. So picture a lucky dwarf in your mind. Maria Flynn, good morning to you. I'm going to continue just now because we're saying we've got error messages, but I'm just going to continue. If it breaks, it breaks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay, so think of a lucky dwarf. Imagine that in your mind, just a lucky dwarf. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is don't even think about it. I want you to type it in as soon as I ask you the question. Type it into the comments. Think of a number between 1 and 10 right now. Type it in just now. I'm going to write down the number that you typed, or hopefully I'm going to write down the number that you typed. I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to, so type it in just now. Think of a number between 1 and 10. Type it in just now. Don't think about it. Just keep going. And I don't want you to try and be different for it. Just think of the first number that comes in your head between 1 and 10. And I'm going to see if this little experiment works or not. Okay, I can't see the comments just now, but hopefully you're getting my messages okay and you can hear me okay. And I'm going to try and get the comments up. So think of a number between 1 and 10 right now. And hopefully you've heard the beginning of the conversation as well, where I asked you to think about a lucky dwarf. I hope this works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it'll be brilliant. No, I'm not even getting the comments up just now. It's just a real pain in the arse. No, I'm just waiting just now for you to think of a number between 1 and 10, and they're coming in just now. Don't think about it. Don't look at anybody else's comments. Just type in the number. Type in the number. Don't think about it. We're getting a few in just now. Right, they're coming in. I'm not going to read anybody else's out in case it kind of changes things a wee bit. Okay. Right, they're still coming in just now. Jennifer Laura's written in just now. B. Sella, Belinda, Portgator. Okay. Right, just keep typing in just now. And this might not work at all. I might fall flat on my face. Okay. So what I was doing at the very beginning, if you've just joined us, I asked you to think of a lucky dwarf. And kind of look at the title of this and just think of a number between 1 and 10. So comments are still coming in just now. I'm just going to wait. Right. I'm going to fall flat on my face here. Right, we're still waiting on the comments coming in. So this is a very interactive one. So the very beginning is going to be very interactive. Okay, the majority of people have said the number, I don't know if you can see that, the number 7. That's what the majority of people have said. Not all of you said that, but majority of people have said the number 7. And that's because, well, it's not because, but if you listened to the first part of what I was saying there about thinking about lucky dwarf and thinking about the kind of directed you to look at the title as well. A lot of people have said the number 7. Most people have said the number 7, although there's a lot of 8s and kind of 6s there as well. So most people have said the number 7 there. That's because of schemas. We have schemas in our mind all the time. So when we think about something, i.e. we think about lucky dwarf, we automatically think lucky, we think the number 7 is lucky, and there's number 7 in the title of the show as well, 7 neat little tricks. and a lot of people would have typed in number 7. So that's activating a schema within your mind, and that's how advertisers kind of get you to do things as well. So I thought I'd try that. I didn't know if it was going to work. It probably hasn't worked. Probably only about 45% of the people typed in 7. So I don't know if that's a failure, and that's probably a failure. So I should have kind of predicated with a kind of story and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you kind of how schema works. So schema is all about the kind of patterns in your mind. So when you see a picture, an image of something, it activates what's called that schema. So when you think of a lucky dwarf, you think of kind of certain numbers, or you think of certain areas. If I said lucky dwarf and asked you to mention a country, for example, a lot of you would have said Ireland. Just think of any country in the world, a lot of you would have said Ireland because of lucky dwarf thing as well. So this is what's happening in our whole kind of world, in our day-to-day lives, where our schemas are getting activated all the time throughout the whole day, with the media, with newspapers, with radio, with songs, with everything. Our schemas are getting activated, and that can predicate on what we do, or that predicates what we do in our lives as well. If somebody wants us to take action or do something, they use these schemas. This is what advertisers do, and this is what the media does as well. And they use a lot, and you've seen in the elections as well, associations. Trump has used it for Hillary, and he's associated certain words with her as well, and you can probably tell what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into politics, that's not what this is about, but it's just kind of a neat little trick. So I wanted to share 7 more with you. So number 1, if you want somebody to like you quicker than they would normally, what you can do is you can ask them to do a small favour for you. And this is known as what's known as the Benjamin Franklin effect. And basically what you do is, if you don't know somebody and you're in a workplace, for example, you ask them to do a small favour. It's not going to put them out or anything. You just ask them to do a small favour. Just say, for example, can you file this for me quickly? I'm just going to the toilet. Something like that, for example. And it gets them to like you quicker than you normally would. Because you know how hard it can be trying to strike up a conversation with somebody. But if you ask them for a small favour, first of all, that will get them to like you quicker. And there's obviously psychological reasoning for that as well. Number 2 is to kind of pay close attention to people's feet when you're talking to them. So when you pay attention to the feet, not obviously staring at them, but you can tell if they're kind of involved in your conversation or not. If their feet are pointing right directly towards you, they're involved in a conversation. If they're slightly to the side or they're kind of turning round, you'll know they want to leave that conversation and they're not interested in what you have to say. So paying attention to somebody's feet is a kind of psychology hack that's quite cool, actually, and I've noticed this a lot of times, and I've noticed it myself as well. And now what I've done, I've kind of made myself kind of point my feet towards somebody when they're talking to me, so they think I know I'm interested as well. So just paying attention to somebody's feet and what direction they're going in as well is a good indicator if they want to kind of stay in the conversation or not. Number 3 is mirror people's body language to build up trust. So if I'm talking to you just now like I am on camera, you would mirror my body language, like my eyes going wider or my hand movements or something like that. And that creates a subconscious connection between the two of you because you're mirroring. And that's an NLP trick. It's not a trick. It's a fact. There's been studies done on this as well. If you want somebody to kind of trust you more as well, you can mirror their actions. I remember going in for an interview once, when I was doing an interview this is way back, when I wanted to be a fitness instructor. And the guy was sitting kind of back as well. So I sat back as well. I was really into NLP. I sat back, and when he sat forward, I kind of sat forward as well. And when he moved his right hand, I would kind of move it at the same time. Just mirroring. But I've done this not unconsciously. I've kind of done it consciously, but very subtly as well. But the guy at the end of the towards the end of the interview, he asked me if I've ever heard of NLP. And I kind of looked at him and said, Yeah, I have. He said, are you mirroring me just now? So he actually called me out on it because he was really interested in NLP, that's neuro-linguistic programming. And he kind of called me out on it. Subsequently, I didn't get the job, but he thought it was kind of funny and he thought it was quite cool. But I didn't get the job anyway. So mirroring other people's body language can build up a trust between you as well. Number 4, use the power of silence to elicit more information from somebody. So here's the kind of psychology behind that. When you ask somebody a question or you want them to kind of open up to you more than they normally would, and you're asking them a question and you're listening to them, and so they just finish their sentence just saying whatever they said, just kind of be silent and kind of look at them. And that's all you do, you just silence and look. And that creates something within the person to give you more information, because they think that you're thinking that you want more information from them, and that power of silence, a lot of people cannot handle the power of silence, so they open up to you more. And this is a technique used in counselling and psychotherapy, etc. as well. And this is why a lot of them use silence, for you to open up more. So if you want to elicit more information from somebody, just be silent and look into their eyes. Just like that. And that can feel uncomfortable for people. So they try and fill that silence with more information. So that's a cool little psychology hack that you can use as well. So just something to think about. It's not manipulation. It's something we do every single day at an unconscious level. But when you can become conscious of it, you can kind of find out more information about people. And it's just really quite cool. Number 5 is make others agree with you with subliminal signals. So for example, if I was to say to you, would you like to go to the pub tonight? Would you like to go out for a drink? Would you like to go out for a meal? And I'm nodding my head at the same time. Chances are they're probably going to agree with you. Again, there's a kind of whole psychology behind that. But a lot of speakers use it. You've probably seen this maybe if you've been watching kind of YouTube speakers or TED speakers. What they do is they ask a question like, who here has been broke and wants to earn more money? And the speaker themselves automatically put up their hands. So they ask the question, but they put up their hands themselves. And that's a little psychology hack that speakers use to get people to kind of agree with them, or to put up their hands, or to do something that they're asking them to do. So that's quite a cool thing as well. So if you're asking somebody something, like I don't know, if they want to do it against their will, what could you just say it again at work? And this is a silly wee example. Just saying, would you like to file this for me? And you're nodding your head at the same time. So a wee psychology hack as well, and I thought it was quite cool as well. What was the other one I was going to use? I had a whole load of these. This is about kind of parenting as well. And this is something I've kind of used in the past. And again, I didn't really know kind of about it. I didn't really know it was a kind of psychology hack or anything. Is to make your kids think you're psychic. I thought this was quite a cool one actually. Make your kids think you're psychic. So if they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and what you can do, if you've spotted them doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and then you turn your back on them so they think you've just not seen them at all, but then you call them out on it, they automatically, and their kind of eyes are glowing and wonder, how did you know I was doing that? And they think you're psychic. So they think that from a very kind of early age. And this is it being manipulative? I don't know. No, it's not. It's just kind of good parenting, I think. So once again, you see them doing something bad, but you turn your back immediately. You know they've done something bad or something they shouldn't do. Turn your back immediately, and then you call them out on it later on. So they think, my God, she's got psychic powers, or he's got psychic powers. I better not do anything bad in the future. So you're kind of manipulating them to kind of towards good behaviour, if you will. So we kind of all do stuff like this as a parent. We try and kind of coax and manipulate our kids to grow up to be good people. So that's one of the ways to do it, and to stop them doing kind of bad things as well. And the other one I was going to say, what was the best one? This is one for kind of used in meetings. So if you're in a meeting or something, for example, and everybody's getting shouted down, if you sit next to an aggressive type of person, and that's the person who's most vocal and the most kind of aggressive, if you sit next to that person, you're going to get less flack because that person is going to get all the attention on them, but you're sitting next to them. So the two side by side, you're going to get less of the attention, so you're not going to get as much flack. I don't know if that kind of makes sense or not, but sitting next to an aggressor in a meeting is quite a good psychology hack as well, because they're going to get the attention, they're going to be most vocal, and you're going to get less of their attention, so you're not going to get as much flack as well. So I just thought that was just kind of fun kind of stuff we're talking about. Some of it's manipulation, some of it's kind of NLP, some we do unconsciously, and some we do consciously. We can do it consciously. But psychology hacking is quite cool, and I was kind of really into that. I actually bought the domain psychologyhacking.com, and I never done anything with it. I've not done anything with it yet, but I just think it's a really cool area about NLP and kind of psychology, the whole kind of psychology of it. So that's it for today. That was the 7 psychology kind of hacks, the 7 neat little tricks. I don't know if that kind of blew me out of the water at the very beginning, but that was it. I thought I'd try it anyway, just to see how it would work. Nina Blankenburg is saying, yes, the power of silence is awesome. It is really, and a really effective. It's a technique, it's not a trick. So I shouldn't have kind of put 7 neat little tricks. It's a technique used a lot in counselling, and very effectively as well. I used it a lot when I was an addiction worker. I used it a hell of a lot. The power of silence is extremely important in that, because it's allowing people time to think, but they also want to fill that void with more information for you as well. So really, really powerful stuff, the power of silence. Jill Wilson, Stephen, you inspire me daily. I love to share your positivity. Oh, thank you very much, Jill. Really appreciate that. Sandra Perez is saying not working. I know, I think the video is kind of off and on. So I think what I'll do just now, because it is a bit of a pain in the arse today for some reason, and that's probably because of the elections, I don't know. I'm going to leave it there just now. Hopefully it's given you something to think about, and at least kind of something to kind of chew on your mind.